Guys, it's Marissa with Barely Keeping It Together, and today we are here in my office / YouTube studio that I have just finished completely decluttering, reorganizing, and setting myself up for success in this space so that I can use it to its best function and it just works for me. But before we get into it, I wanted to mention to you guys, this video is in collaboration with Laura from How to GYST. If you guys don't know what GYST is, get together. Hello, get with it. Anyways, this video is a collaboration with Laura and she is absolutely the best. We both were totally decluttering our offices, but have different takes on it. Laura is amazing and she is a decluttering queen. She knows everything about the KonMari method. So if you're interested in learning more about decluttering and the KonMari method, check out Laura's channel. I'm gonna link everything down in the description below, as well as her video where she decluttered her office and told you all about the why of why she declutters. And let me tell you, it is a beautiful method. I was near teary-eyed watching her video. Anyways, so definitely go check that out and I'll tell you a little bit more about her later on in the video. But I wanna show you where this office started out, everything I did to it, the really fun projects that I did because I'm still in love with what I did, and the little hacks that I used around here. So let's get into it. So I was super inspired when I was on Pinterest a few weeks ago and I saw that a bunch of interior designers have these pin boards that are huge on their walls. They make a big statement and they're able to express themselves. And I don't know if you know, but a couple weeks ago I talked about how I needed to have a vision board in this space as well. Well, one thing led to another and I decided I wanted to make a large pin board for my space to be a vision board. But they're expensive. If you purchase a large pin board, which by the way, mine is 5 feet by 3 feet, it would cost hundreds of dollars. And there are versions that you can do from the Home Depot, which end up costing just under $100 to do yourself. But I decided I wanted to do it even less expensive. What's up, guys? I am at the Dollar Tree. I'm about to run in to get some supplies to make a huge pin board for my office. So I'm gonna go in there and get the supplies, and I can't wait to show you how I'm gonna do this on a major budget. So I took a sturdy 3 foot by 5 foot piece of cardboard that I already had and the foam core boards I purchased at the Dollar Tree. I cut them to fit onto the cardboard and I used spray adhesive that I purchased at the Dollar Tree as well. From there, I used weights that I already had in my garage to allow the glue to settle. And then I waited about an hour to allow the glue to dry and the foam core boards to attach to the first layer of cardboard. Once everything was dry, did this again with a second layer of foam core boards so that my pin board would be thick enough to actually use pins in. Then I took black burlap that I purchased at Joann Fabric for about $3 a yard and I cut it to fit. Because there was some very intense creases in the burlap, I first brought it inside and steamed it to remove any of the wrinkles from the fabric. Then I stapled the first layer of burlap over the foam core board and cardboard to do the first layer of upholstery. I then went over and did this again so that there was a total of 2 layers of burlap. Because burlap is not a thick fabric, I didn't want you to be able to see through it to the foam core board below. Here's how the project was looking after the 2 layers of burlap. So for about $20, I can't wait to show you the pin board I was able to make for my space. Before I got to decluttering, I had one more project I wanted to start. I have this gorgeous green lamp that I think is beautiful, but it didn't go with the space and I really wanted to use on my desk. So I mixed baking soda and paint, which is a great way to add texture and make something look more like an antique vase or vessel. And I did 2 or 3 coats and just let this dry. The next day, it was actually time to start decluttering my office. The first thing I did was just remove everything from the space. Now, I use this room every day, so I had my tripods, my lights, all sorts of stuff in this office. So I emptied everything out before I reset everything up. Decluttering this space has empowered me to want to be here more, to want to work more, to be more creative in this space. I can't believe how much better I feel in this room just from this declutter. One of the reasons why decluttering is so pertinent and so important to creating and designing this beautiful life is that by decluttering whatever space it is or all of the spaces in your life, it gives you the space, both mentally and physically, to go towards and do the things that you actually love. It allows you to open that door and maybe find a new hobby or, be creative. Like, for example, this room is perfect for me. Like, now that this space is decluttered and set up for success, it allows me to be able to be creative in here like I want to be. So I definitely recommend that if you just start with decluttering and clearing your space, you're going to be taking the first step in creating the life of your dreams. My signature philosophy of lifestyle design is all about designing your space, designing your organization, designing how you do things, and then designing your mental space as well. Because believe it or not, your physical surroundings, your organization, your systems, how you do things, and then your mental clarity and motivation are all so intrinsically tied. They may seem like they're different topics, but you guys, it really is one big topic, and I highly suggest that you get a little bit more into lifestyle design. Another big problem I've been suffering with is cord clutter. I can't even take it, you guys. It looks so bad just to have my cords everywhere. And as a YouTuber, I have camera equipment, all those sorts of things. So I couldn't figure out what to do with it. So now I'm sitting here wondering if I can figure out a solution for all of these cords that I already own, so I don't have to go buy something on Amazon and wait for it to be delivered. Then I remembered I had this trunk down in my basement. It wasn't being used for anything. So what I did is I actually brought it in here. I drilled a hole in the back and I ran all my cords in there. Imagine all that was out on the floor before. Also, you see I have a throw blanket in here because I'm in here all the time. I need it to be cozy, so sometimes I need a blanket as well. As a YouTuber, I was suffering with all sorts of equipment. I have all kinds of tripods, lighting, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. And it was all sitting out in a basket and just not looking good. So what I decided to do was take the basket and put it behind the chair that I already have in the corner, and then put the stuff in there so you don't see it, but I still have access to all that stuff. So let me show you how I set that up. So as you see me in my signature shot, you would never know that right behind me is all of this equipment that I was able to hide in the corner back there. Okay, so this IKEA cabinet is actually also more YouTube equipment. So if I come over here, I can show you all of my equipment neatly organized, and I even have a sewing machine down there. Another thing that I've noticed when using this office is that I sit here at this desk and I do, Zoom meetings and all the things, but the lighting isn't so good. Imagine that you are my computer and I am me. Well, I have extra lights on right now and it's still not that great. So what I did was I added a light to my desk so I didn't have to get a ring light. Now I can turn this light on and I am illuminated for the people. So that was just a functional ad. And if you just look at my desk setup, you would think, oh, it's a beautiful lamp. It looks great there. You wouldn't think that it's actually serving the double purpose of lighting up my face when I'm doing all of my meetings from my computer right here. Yes, my desk is pretty attractive, but the truth of the matter is this bowl is actually all of my day-to-day office supplies, whether I need some tape or Post-it notes, all the things go in there so that I can hide it away from my desk, but still have it nice and handy for my day-to-day use. I can't wait to show you the pin board I was able to make for my space. Now, the significance of this pin board is more than just a vision board. It is more than just inspiration and images that speak to me. But honestly, you guys, this pin board took this room from being a room that is mine to make it a room that's me. I've never loved something that I've made as much as I love this pin board. It represents all of the parts of me. I have all of the visions and dreams for my business on there. And I also have, dream home images, quotes that have always spoken to me, art that I've always loved, textures that I love. Honestly, there's so much on here that this truly gives me like the tingles of how much it represents me as a human being. And I'm so, so proud of it. And being in this space, it's so inspirational to me. Now that I have this up on the wall, I literally never want to leave this office. I'm always in here. My dog is so annoyed because he hates it up here. He's afraid of the YouTube lights. Anyway, the other thing I want to show you guys is how I DIY'd a dry erase board that I can have my monthly goals and my content calendar in. Now, I can't get super clear images because the glass keeps reflecting me, so sorry you're going to see me in the glass. But what I did is I took a floating frame that I purchased at Michael's, and inside I took my printables of my monthly content calendar as well as my monthly goals, and then I can just use it as a dry erase board and check them off with a marker as I go throughout the month. Because if you're like me, you have your goals printed out and written down, and then, it was a way more aesthetically pleasing way to get my goals out. When you declutter your space and you're able to then go in and decorate and design and set up your space like I have to be able to be using it in the best way possible, you're able to take all of your Pinterest dreams and make them a reality. I mean, my pin board is literally a physical manifestation of something that I found on Pinterest and now I really have. But beyond that, I'm able to have a decluttered space. I have a room that is representative of my personal style, also what I have pinned on Pinterest, and I'm able to have the mental clarity that I seek as well. So by decluttering, it's like one step towards living your best life. This is why decluttering your space is actually day one in my 3-day challenge, the Get Your Shit Together challenge, where we declutter our space, declutter our mind, and declutter our vision. If you guys are interested in the Get Your Shit Together challenge, it is linked down in the description below. But I also quickly want to talk a little bit more about Laura's video. I urge you guys to go and watch her video because her why is genuinely powerful. And to me, it is proof to me that decluttering is just the beginning of opening up something else. It is almost like your foray or your opening step into whatever it is that you need to address next in your life. Again, why in my challenge, we first declutter our space, then we declutter our mind. Laura is living proof that decluttering your space is the first step of living your best life. Now, I will let you guys listen to Laura's entire story because again, I'm gonna link her video down in the description below. But let me tell you, this is something you definitely wanna check out. She really gives you so many decluttering and KonMari tips on her channel, but also she always ties it together in this beautiful bow of an interesting and pertinent story. So I love Laura's channel and I highly recommend you definitely go check that out as well. Plus she has the most charming Irish accent in the world, and like, who doesn't love listening to that as well? You know what I mean? All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely go check out Laura's video, linked down in the description below. And if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the Get Your Shit Together challenge, I also have that linked down in the description below. It is a 3-day video course where we go through and declutter our space, declutter our mind, and then declutter our vision. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.